Welcome back, everybody, to Rantpocalypse Talks The Walking Dead. I'm Justin,
Hey, I'm Kelly, and we are a mother and son Walking Dead watching duo.
and for this video, we're going to give you the top 5
Was that
things.
5? Did you say
Yeah,
5?
$5 foot longs. We're going to give you our top 5 favorite moments from this week's episode of The Walking Dead, which was Season 7, Episode 7, the penultimate
I
episode.
was wondering if we were going to actually get through this whole video
No,
before. Yeah, thanks. Great.
never. Our number 5 moment was Spencer and Father Gabriel's badass road trip because I absolutely loved when Father Gabriel verbally assaulted Spencer. It
Hmm.
was so much fun. I love the line he tells him, "What you are saying doesn't make you a sinner. It does make you a tremendous shit."
Which, for Father Gabriel saying shit that's a huge, that's like doing the F-bomb. I'm waiting for him to, I don't know, to get real punchy, I wanted him to throw an elbow into Spencer's face, even though the face is really pretty. I wanted it to happen.
Yeah, it would have been great. I mean, I've absolutely loved Father Gabriel
Hmm.
since season 6, episode 12, whenever he took out that person at the satellite compound. And even before that, he was trying to prove himself to Rick. And it's just funny to me to see this full transformation of how much Father Gabriel respects Rick
I
Grimes.
know. It's so true, and it's great, and I love it because that makes me take him into the fold. All right, our number 4 thing, Spencer actually does something sort of for the good of everybody. He finds a crossbow, which was pretty cool because he found it in a hunter that was stuck in a deer stand. That was pretty badass.
Yeah, when that walker came down from the deer stand, that was pretty damn awesome.
Yes.
How its arms just like just completely flew off, looked like they exploded off of that walker. And it was a really gross walker. It was quite
Yes.
disgusting. It feels like we've seen a couple of walkers that remind us of the well
Mm-hmm.
walker with Glenn because they're all bloated and
Yes.
just nasty and disgusting. But it was weird to see Spencer actually coming through with a halfway decent plan. I guess technically a really good plan, and he used the Latin that his mom had made
Yep.
him learn
Yep.
in order to get those supplies. So look at Spencer coming through momentarily.
Yeah, that fancy book learning actually paid off.
Our number 3 favorite moment from this week's episode was the badass boathouse fort that Rick and Aaron come up on, and it's got all of the bobber walkers,
Mm-hmm.
which we just got that name from last week's episode, the new walker name, and I think that they're like, hey, we really like bobber walkers,
Yeah.
so we're gonna show them again in this week's episode. That was pretty damn sweet and an ingenious move by whoever
Yeah.
was there. Do you think that they still are there?
Well, the guy said, if you've got this far, then I must be dead. So he must be dead.
I don't want him to be dead. I
I
want
know.
them to find some random hillbilly dude that's been shacked up in a boathouse on a pond.
Yeah.
I mean, for
And
one.
it wasn't even a lake. It was just a pond. I don't know. I pictured it's somebody kind of Merlish.
Ooh, I would be into that. A
Hmm.
lot of us fans, we miss Merle. Michael Rooker is such a great personality. If they could get some of that in a bottle and bring
Yes.
it to the show now, I think it would be fantastic. I'm all for it. I'm very excited to find out what they find in that boathouse. If they don't happen to find
Hmm.
this guy, maybe they find a weapons cache, something really good that's going to help serve them in the fight to come against Negan and the Saviors.
I think you're right about the weapons. I think that's what they'll find. All right, our number 2 thing is continuing on with the season 7 theme of bossome ladies. That's my new word, of badass and awesome put together.
I like it.
Bossome, yes. Rosita actually gets to make a bullet after she berates Eugene into
Oh
doing
man.
it. Yeah. Didn't you say you liked her anyway? Didn't matter to you? Yell at me, Eugene.
Yeah,
Rosita. Call me every bad name.
pretty much. I mean, I would prefer her to call me all those bad names in bed, but
That's
you know,
disgusting. I don't want to hear about it. I
what?
do not.
Rosita's hot.
Michonne hops a ride to Negan. I thought that was a pretty cool plan to make the wall of walkers until she could get somebody to stop.
Do you think that she learned that from Negan and the Saviors?
I think so.
I think so as well. And you're right. The women on the show right now, they're the ones that are completely badasses. They're the ones that have it out for revenge for Negan and the Saviors, while we see Rick, Eugene, some of the other men on the show, they're kind of taking a back seat to the women right now because they're wanting to fall in line, where we see Michonne, Rosita, Sasha, all wanting to go out for revenge on Negan. And I love it. I thought Michonne was badass whenever she sliced that walker's head off and it just fell off like that. It was amazing. I was saying in our live watch, it totally reminded me of the Resident Evil laser grids. Whenever that poor dude, he's supposed to be the badass guy, and he gets stuck in the laser grid, and he's like little cubes falling out everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. That was very cool. Our number one thing was all about Carl and Negan, and the fact that Carl is giving Negan all the respect and love that he hasn't been giving his dad.
Which I don't like.
I don't like
like
it
that
either.
at all. I don't like whenever Carl goes against what Rick says, and I respect him for what he did. I thought that that was a badass move for him to get in the Negan truck and make his way there. He took out a couple of Saviors, but then of course Negan put a stop to that really quickly and took him on this creepy boobs and beer tour of
Come on.
Sanctuary.
It was beer and titties. Come on. You can say
Beer-
it.
Beer and titties. Yeah, it was fascinating to see that relationship blossom in this week's episode. You're totally right. There was moments whenever we see Negan talking to everybody, all the Saviors, right before that one poor dude, Mark, gets the iron, and he's talking about the fact that they're the saviors, that they're to save humanity, that they are there to bring civilization back, and then he kind of like, he leans over to Carl and he says, "They're still kneeling, right?"
Yeah.
And Carl seemed to really like that.
He perked
kind of
up
enamored.
a lot.
Yes.
And because we have seen Carl be at odds with his dad in past seasons. Now, of course, it's gotten a little bit better lately, but it was a definite lack of respect for his father. And boy, he seems to be passing it over to Negan really quickly.
Yeah, I'm curious to find out what's going to happen between those two characters. We knew already that Negan had kind of taken a liking to Carl previously, but now it's just like full blown. And it was also interesting to see the shift with Negan as a character, because we've seen the Negan where he's super monologue-y dude that just goes on boasting about himself and all the things he's going to do and how much he loves Lucille, and Lucille loves a song, and Lucille loves this. But it was very cool to see that other side of him where he really has that emotional moment with not only Carl, but Olivia, where he apologizes to both of them. And I don't think that it was fake in any way. I think that this was kind of insight into Negan, the real individual, not the boasting Negan that's, just trying to put on a show for everybody, but the Negan that's deep down inside. So what did you think about that?
Well, I think that any great leader, if you actually have people follow you, there's got to be more than just one side to you. So it can't all be, I'm going to bash your head in and put my penis down your throat. So I think that there's got to be some form of humanity in him that make people like him and respect him. I don't know.
I completely agree. It's got to be there, because otherwise, why the hell would these people step in line when one of their own gets an iron put on their face? That was just brutal. And whenever he peeled it off and that little piece of it came off,
it was awful. That was the worst part to me, was the pulling of the skin. That was just, that was so disgusting.
It was like cheese on a pizza, and it was really gross. It still made me hungry. I don't know about you guys, but I still got hungry after seeing that scene.
Yeah, I don't know why. Now I think about it, I smell bacon for some reason.
Oh, nice segue into how many bacons would you give this week's episode?
All right, I'm going to give this, because we score our episodes out of 5 bacons. I'm going to give this a 4 1/4 bacon. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I didn't want it to end.
That was the thing while we were live watching it. It ended so abruptly right there at the end of the episode, and we're thinking, what? what just happened? Because this was one of the longer episodes. It was
Hmm.
an hour and 2 minutes, and that's without commercials. And it flew by to me.
Hmm.
And to me, that's a testament of an episode being fun. I loved all the interactions. I love the fact that we're blending the characters' storylines together. We got a little Rick and Aaron, we got a little Father
Hmm.
Gabriel. You know, we got, of course, Negan and Carl thrown in with a little bit of Daryl.
Right.
We got to see another side of Dwight and Sherry, which I
Hmm.
really, really enjoyed. I thought that was nice seeing uh, some of the stuff that we knew was within Dwight that we saw last year whenever we were first introduced to those two characters. It was good to see that come back again. And it was just overall a blast. I had
Yeah.
so much fun watching this episode. It makes for a very eventful mid-season finale next week. I think some crazy shit's going to go down. I think Spencer may overstep his bounds, and I do not think Negan is going to be down for that.
I don't think you will be either. You still haven't given your score.
I was trying to get away with it.
Not happening.
No, I'm just kidding. I am 4.5 bacons. This was
Oh my
quite
gosh.
possibly my favorite episode of the season. I really, really
Wow.
enjoyed this. More than the premiere, more than all the other episodes that we've seen. I really, really liked it. It had a little bit of everything. The only thing that we really didn't get to see was the kingdom, and I would
Right.
like to catch back up with them. But nah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Thought it was great, and we want to know your thoughts. What would you rate this week's episode out of Bacon's? You can put your comments in the comment box down below. We'll be back with more Walking Dead videos and a longer discussion on our podcast later this week, which you can find. There's a link in the description below as well. Q&A videos. Put your Q&A questions down there. We want those. We want to have a Q&A video, so give us some Q&A questions so that way we can answer them. We hope you enjoyed this video.
We enjoyed making it. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Can you see he does need to be named Carl?
Oh, he definitely does need to be.
I know.
He needs
Look
to
at
be
that
named
face.
Carl.
Look at that face. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that face. Adorable.